Hello everyone, RotarySwing Tour instructor Craig Morrow here, taking a look at the Women's British Open champion Mo Martin and what she does in her downswing to be #1 in driving accuracy on the LPGA Tour. Congratulations to Mo for her win in this past week's Women's British Open Championship and her first win on the LPGA Tour. And today what I'd like to talk about is a few of the keys that Mo uses to get on plane on the downswing, which in turn allows her to be the #1 LPGA golfer in driving accuracy. And what Mo does so well from the top of the backswing coming down is she transfers her weight to the left side first. You can see that she starts to push her left heel into the ground to start the swing from the ground up. And for those of you RSTers out there, you know that starting the swing from the ground up is what gets the downswing to take place properly. It allows us to come down on plane, store energy, and get into a good impact position, because what most amateurs tend to do is not transfer their weight to the left and start their swing from the up down. And if you start the swing from the up down, the typical tendency is going to be to steepen the shaft plane too much with the right shoulder and right arm. But what Mo does very well is she starts from the ground up, which allows the left side, or the pulling side, to shallow out her swing plane and store energy. Because we can see in this position here how her shoulders are still relatively shut to the target and how her hips aren't opening up too soon, which is using physics to her advantage. She's not fighting Newton, so to speak, that she's allowing the club to pull down versus trying to manipulate the positions that it's wanting to hit. She's allowing the weight of the club and the design of the club to work properly on the downswing and into the strike versus trying to force it into a position, which most amateurs tend to feel is very powerful. That's where the right shoulder and right arm tendency comes in, and the steepening of the shaft plane of the overhang top is because they're trying to control the club head. Right now she's allowing physics to do its job and the pull from the left to get the club head on plane and into a good position to strike it from. And that's why she's able to work into this position where the club's parallel with the ground, and all she's got to do is fire that right arm and release that left hand. And if I draw an arrow down her target line, you can see that the ball never leaves that red line. And that's why she's so accurate on the LPGA Tours, because on the way down, as she works everything from the ground up and uses physics to her advantage versus trying to control too much with her right side. And that's why that ball takes off dead straight like an arrow. So if these are some of the positions that you want to hit on the downswing, or you have a tendency to tend to come over the top of the ball or steepen the shaft plane too much with the right shoulder and right arm, there's a lot of different videos on the site you can take a look at. You can take a look at the sitting into the left side video to understand how transferring the weight to the left side is going to set up the sequence of events for the downswing. You can take a look at the LAD video, which will teach you what the left arm does on the downswing and how using the pulling side or the lead side is going to shallow out the swing plane versus steepening it too much with the right side or the trail side. The Stop Coming Over the Top video is one of the best videos on the site, which will teach you how easy it is to get on plane by just using the left side properly versus wanting to be too dominant with the right side coming down. So for those golfers out there that want to get on plane on the downswing, let's make sure that we get this sequence correctly as Mo does. Let's start from the ground up. Let's use the left side properly. Let's use our pulling side. And let's not steepen the shaft plane with our right side. For those of you joining us on our YouTube channel, I'm going to include a free bonus video called Stop Coming Over the Top. And in this video, you'll learn how to shallow out the plane on the downswing by using the left side properly. And if you like this video, make sure you click the like button down below. And I look forward to seeing you getting that swing on plane and hitting a lot of fairways.
One of the most frustrating faults most golfers struggle with is coming over the top and slicing it, leaving the club face open. And to be honest with you, it's one of the easiest things to fix in golf. You just have to know two critical keys that are going to help you stop coming over the top immediately. The first thing is, unfortunately, and what makes golf so difficult, is that it's predominantly a left arm, left-sided dominant game. Doesn't mean the right side doesn't do a huge part and the right arm doesn't do a huge part. It absolutely does. If you've watched the other videos, you know that. But in terms of controlling the club face and the angle and the swing plane and a lot of those things, a lot of it is the left arm that has to do a lot of the heavy lifting. And if you don't know how to use the left arm, that's where the difficulty comes in. And so what I'm going to do today is show you one simple key that if you do this correctly right away, your left arm will change your swing plane and path so that it'll make it almost impossible for you to come over the top. And so what I'm going to show you first is what typically happens, because most golfers play golf right-handed and they're right-hand dominant. So what happens is they way overuse the right side when it comes to the downswing. And so what I'm going to show you is what happens when you overuse the right side and underuse the left. Now the second key to this is your weight transfer. The weight transfer shallows out the swing, shallows out this pitch of the shaft, shallows out the plane. And all that is going from being loaded up on this right side to shifting our weight back to the left. This little move here of shifting your pelvis from your right leg to your left leg, shifting your weight over, shallows out the shaft.